The young couple crossed over to avoid me, and I heard the jingle of loose change in someone's pocket. A street you see every day can look unfamiliar, lying face down on the ground, and it took me a minute to work out where I was. The pavement was frozen, low-hanging fog blurred the air, and nothing could pass through it without being alerted somehow. It threw the whole city out of focus, taking the shine off another Friday night. My left arm had gone numb, and I rolled off it to check the time. The face of my watch was shattered. Assuming it had stopped when I hit the floor, assuming that had only been a few minutes ago, I still had over an hour. I could get into some dry clothes and be at the bar in plenty of time to see the handover. I felt my way up a wall and got to my feet. My face hurt and my brain felt like it had come loose, rattling around inside my skull, erasing PIN numbers and names of childhood friends. I watched the young couple disappear into the fog. In spite of social media, CCTV, and the state, we still live in a world where you can disappear if you want to, or even if you don't. It had been about a month since the story leaked. A month since I'd gone missing. I felt the back of my head where someone had just hit it, hard. My wallet was still in my pocket, so I hadn't been mugged. I'd been warned. There was no one else around, but I could feel eyes all over me. The street swayed and I held onto a lamppost to steady it. When I started to walk, I went for long stretches with my eyes closed, not even thinking about bumping into things. Turning a corner, I found myself on back Piccadilly, immediately recognizing its exhausted red bricks by their external fire escapes. These buildings wall in a narrow alley on both sides, making a claustrophobic throughway. The evening rain had caught the moonlight, and I started walking out of nostalgia as much as anything. There was an all-night coffee shop at the other end, and I'd spent some time in there in another life. It had been years since I stopped going, and the city had changed so much that I knew I wouldn't see any of the old faces. I was a few steps into the alleyway when I heard a car start behind me. An engine growled into life, flexing its muscles before falling into a smooth rumble. Light flooded the narrow path, and a crooked silhouette grew out from my feet, thinner than I remembered it. I looked over my shoulder, into blinding high beams. The car was idling at the alleyway's entrance. Nothing to see here. I turned and kept walking. I was halfway along when the beams shook, when they started following me. The engine revved and the car moved closer. It sounded just 2 or 3 feet behind, and I knew then that I'd never really disappeared. I could feel the headlights burning into my back. I didn't want to turn and look through them at the driver anymore. I was afraid of who it might be. I pressed myself into an alcove so the car could pass. It stayed where it was for a few seconds. Squinting into the light, I saw a BMW, all gleaming black paint and chrome. I could feel the night in my lungs, the blood singing through my veins. A window came down, but I couldn't see inside. "Detective Constable Waits," said a man. "Who's asking?" I heard a woman's laughter from the passenger side. "We're not asking, handsome. Get in."